Hey traders, warm welcome to you. So talk about one of my favorite indicators. You know what, I don't use it as much as I should, but I really like its kind of basis and where it comes from. That is the ADX, the average directional index or indicator or trend indicator, whatever you want to call it. Ultimately is telling us the strength of a trend. Now, it was, I believe, founded and it was kind of adjusted and tweaked by famous Wells Wilder, price action trader, very much into the kind of direction of the market and higher highs, lower lows, that kind of thing, based around commodities and currencies. However, we can kind of use it for some other bits and pieces as well. So let's talk about it. Let's stick it on the chart and let's discuss what it is and, more importantly, how we can make some money from it. So it's the average directional index, and ADX for short. Let's put it on the chart here. Let's just thicken it up a bit so we can see what's going on. It's on most of your charting packages, whether you're using MT4, 5, InterTrader, all those kind of things. It will be there. It's very common. It's very popular. ADX smoothing is 14 is generally what we're looking at, and the DI length 14. Okay, we'll talk about those in a second. So what is it and what's it all about? Now, ADX is, without going into too much depth about the ultimate formula, ultimately it's based on the premise that a trend is going to give you higher highs in an uptrend. So the current high is going to be higher than the previous high, and the more of those you get in a row, the more weighting it is going to put towards an uptrend, and it's using the directional index, but this is kind of part of the ADX. But we don't need to go into it. It doesn't really matter in terms of the intricacies of the actual formula. All that matters is what it's showing us, because if we can work out what it's showing us, then we can develop a strategy from it. And it's the same with like downtrends. If we go into lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, it's giving, the indicator is giving more credit to that. Now, the important thing to remember for the ADX is that it's not directional. It's not giving us a signal whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend. It's just telling us the market is trending. And its definition of a trend, as I say, without going real in depth with the formula, is that you're getting a series of higher highs or you're getting a series of lower lows. So choppiness is not going to give you a higher reading on your ADX, whereas a trending market is. So while we're talking about it, let's go into it. So a high reading is generally considered as a trending environment. Some people use 20, some people use 30. I always think that 30 is a good place to start. So in other words, when the ADX is above 30, that is generally considered to be a trending environment. When it's below 30, it's generally considered to be a choppy environment. Like I say, it's giving more credit to higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and that's giving an increase to the value of the ADX. So simply put, when the market is trending, we're going to get a signal above 30. When it's either trending down or when it's trending up, when it's sitting in a range, we're going to get below 30. If we use 30, that's an easy place for us to start. So how do we use it in our trades? What is it all about? Well, you've kind of got a few ways of looking at it. One of them is to say to yourself, hey, listen, I've got a strategy that I want to get involved in trends. It's buying pullbacks, it's looking for double tops, whatever it may be. It's kind of looking for something to do with a trend, whether it's getting the beginning of a trend or whether it's waiting for the end of a trend. So you're primarily going to be looking for numbers that are above the 30 range. These spikes in ADX, whether that's the downside in price or whether that's to the upside in price, it doesn't matter. Obviously, you might want to filter that depending on what your strategy is. But something you can look at, and something we've discussed before, is once you've got an ADX reading above 30, is looking to get involved in a pullback. So as soon as you get that reading above 30, so you've kind of got a reading above 30 here, your first pullback zone here, whether that's there or there, and again, this is never going to give you an ultimate yes definite trigger. You're going to have to put some price action strategy in with it, but then you can look to get short and say, well, it's given me my signal above 30 here. At some point I need to see a pullback that I want to get short on, and then you could use maybe a little trend line break or a moving average or something like that, like that kind of thing there. Pull back to a moving average and short, whatever it may be. That's something you can look at. Another thing you can do with the ADX, let me just clear off some of these pens so we get a little bit clearer on what's going on. Another thing you can do, and let's pull up something else like a euro, or maybe put up a commodity in a second as well. Another thing you can do, I've lost my line. Let's get my line back. Another thing you can do is use it as a great way of giving you maybe a heads up that you're due to burst out of kind of a range bound environment. So if you're one of those traders who likes to get involved in that range expansion trade, which I like to get involved in, I have to admit, the market's been sitting choppy, you're waiting for the break, you don't know where it's going to come, you've kind of got it in your watch list, you've got your eye on it, you're kind of looking at it, you're thinking, it's going to break one way or another, I want to be involved when it breaks, because more and more people are getting involved in this. ADX is quite a good tool for that, because let's for example here, the Euro US dollar here, you've come down, you've been sitting in this range now. Yes, you've had a couple of high ADX readings, but let's say now you've been sitting in this range for kind of a couple of months here, and you're waiting for a break, to the downside or to the upside. All of a sudden, poof, you get your ADX popping above 30, indicating that there's a potential trend. You get that here. You see you've got a breakout, and it's breaking to the upside, out of your range, above your resistance, and you get the ADX. Maybe you've got other indicators as well. That might be where you're looking to get involved in a long. For example, just literally throwing some examples out there. So you've got two ways of doing it. One is trend already, you want to get on board the trend. Another is range bound market, fine. I want to wait for a range expansion. The final one, I may as well use this while we've got it, and you've probably thought of it already if you're one step ahead of me, is hey, maybe I don't want to trade trends. Maybe I have a strategy that works very, very nicely, thank you, in range bound market conditions. So perhaps you want to literally just only get involved when the market is in a range. Perfect scenario here. We've had a good downtrend. We're sitting now in this range for a long time, and you're looking a mean reversion trade. You've got maybe a center point here, some sort of support resistance or some sort of moving average, and you're purely looking to fade these highs, these kind of false breakouts, knowing the ADX is not exhibiting a trend environment yet, so you're looking just to play that mean reversion ping pong trade, range fake outs, fading the breakout, buying the low, selling the high, until such time as you get stopped out with a continuation. It depends. Obviously you're going to find the right environment for you, the right market conditions for you, the right market, all that kind of stuff. So ADX, good little tool, great for spotting trends. Like I say, it's not directional, so it's not going to tell you if it's an uptrend or downtrend, but a great little thing. And you could perhaps put it into a filter if you're using something like finviz.com or any other filtering, scanning software that you've got, to give you an idea and kind of just showing you a broad range of everything that's trending or not trending, and then looking for strategies that are fitting those criteria. So good little tool, worth looking at. If you use ADX, then let me know in the comments below. We'll be interested to hear how you look at it, if you've got a different view of it, or if you find something that works or doesn't work. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button for more videos from me and other traders on this channel. Good trading, guys. Take care. Back in another video soon. Bye bye.